As a man, sometimes life can feel like a constant fight for respect and achievement. Some men are gifted with a talent or they luck out on making a product that a lot of people want and they rake in a load of money. And you can feel like you're working harder than them for a lesser result. For example, singers, sports stars, and big businessmen. Society sends you messages that you should always be strong, capable, and never show weakness. And with men who don't have what they want in life, overcompensation often manifests. Here are 5 types of men who overcompensate. The short, aggressive guy. This guy was not lucky in the height department. He was always smaller than his peers, and this often resulted in him getting picked on while growing up. Present day, they are often still the target of short jokes. To overcompensate, he often talks loudly, buys a huge vehicle, and may talk too much because he feels the need to make his presence felt. And he may be purposely annoying if he feels he's not getting enough attention from those around him. When drunk, he may be excessively brave and threaten the biggest man in the room. A more positive version of this guy is a guy who is short but walks and talks as though he's the tallest man in the room and it doesn't bother him. This guy usually gets a lot of respect from those around him. The overworker. This guy wants more money and he tries to get it by outworking everyone around him. And he also wants to compete with his fellow men because he thinks he's not good enough. He comes in earlier, leaves later, and does more than expected. He may get the raise or promotion he's looking for, but he may also suffer from stress and burnout, and he may get taken advantage of by his co-workers. They may drop their hands because they think the work's getting done and they could get away with doing less, or because they want to spite him. The hothead. This guy is insecure about something. For example, growing up poor, growing up without a father, being born out of wedlock, not thinking he's intelligent enough, being mixed race and having an identity crisis, being unemployed or underemployed, or any other reason. He takes it out on everyone and he is always getting into arguments and sometimes physical fights everywhere he goes. He always has a run-in with someone. Life must be pretty exhausting for him. He may also drink excessively, and this behavior is often exacerbated when he is drunk. The woman beater. This guy physically abuses his significant other because he doesn't think he's good enough. This can happen when she earns more than he does, when she is employed and he is not, or when she is more socially adept than he is, or when she is intellectually superior and wins nearly every argument, or when she gets more attention from the opposite sex than he does. In order for them to get along, he must be high up and she must be low down, and that is a wrong attitude to have. Here at Determination for Increase, we strongly oppose hitting women. The liar. This guy isn't happy with his life, but instead of actively working on himself, he makes up grandiose stories, and more often than not has the gift of gab. He may grossly exaggerate what he does for a living. Example, if he's a pharmacy assistant, he'll tell people he's a pharmacist. If he's a kitchen assistant, he'll tell people he's a chef. If he works at the checkout in a supermarket, he'll say he's the manager. If he's a construction worker, he'll say he's a foreman. He may also say that he worked for or is friends with a celebrity or other prominent person. He may also overstate his skill level at a sport or hobby. If he played a sport recreationally, he'll say he played at district level. If this behavior goes too far, he'll start believing his own lies and essentially live in a fantasy land, and this may lead to narcissism. Is there a solution to the problem of overcompensation? My suggestion is to train your body and train your mind. When I started doing this and seeing gains in both areas, it was a turning point for me. A few years ago, I was a bit of an overworker and sometimes a hothead. I got into 4 fights growing up because of autism. And when I was new to the concept of standing up for myself, I took it too far and got into a lot of unnecessary arguments with people. Though I'm not where I would like to be in terms of money, and I would have liked to be 6 feet. I fell 2 inches short of that. I'm still not perfect, but I'm much calmer than I used to be. I like myself more, because through training my body and mind, I gave myself more to like. Hope that makes sense. I'm urging you to do the same, brothers. Hope this was thought-provoking. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in another video.